In this class, we'll be learning how to use Microsoft Excel. We will create a simple table with some data, do some calculations, create charts, and format our table. So let's start Excel. I'm going to go to the search box and type in EXCEL, and that is the application icon. Click on this one and it will start up Excel. Now, Microsoft Excel is an application that you can use to create spreadsheets. Now think of spreadsheet as large tables in which you enter your data, and it allows you to perform calculations on your data and create graphs to represent your data. So once this has started up, I'm going to create a blank workbook or a blank file, and this is the main interface of Excel. It will always give you a name of your book or your workbook, which is book 1 in this case. And one book can have, if you come down over here, many sheets. Okay, so if I click on this plus sign, it will give me a new sheet. Okay, so you can navigate from one sheet to the other by just clicking, and it'll take you to that sheet. Okay, let me go back to sheet 1, and as you can see, it is a huge table, and it has a set of rows and columns. Okay, now rows have alphabets, have numbers. Okay, and columns of course has alphabets. And if you come down over here, these are all called cells, and every cell has an address. For example, this is C2, which you can see over here. This one is F7, but it's showing over here G11. Okay, now basically what you do is you go inside when you want to enter some data. Okay, let me say that this is a test to show you how to sell. Okay, now this I have typed in E4. Now if I go to F4 and I type something, is another cell. Okay, now everything that I had written in the previous cell is also there. I do not see it because the size of the column is small. Okay, now if you want to increase the size of the column, all you need to do is come between the alphabets, either double click like this, or you can just drag it and increase the size. Okay, but anything that you type is always there, but does not show you because of the size of a cell. Now similarly, if you want to increase the height of a row, you have to come between the numbers. You press it and you drag it. There you go. You cannot do it like this. If you highlight this and you try to increase, it will not. Okay, you have to come between the numbers and then either go up or down. Okay, if you want to copy something, let's say you want to copy the contents of this cell and paste it somewhere else, click on this one, let's say copy, and come over here for example, and then you can say paste. Okay, if you say paste again, it will paste it to all of these cells. Okay, now whenever you copy, it will always give you these running ants. If you want to get rid of these running ants, you press the escape key and it goes away. Okay, now basic formatting, if you want to format this, for example, you want to make it bold, maybe italic, you want to underline this, that is pretty standard, just like you do in Microsoft Word. You also have the alignment, which is top, which is horizontal and vertical. Depends how you want it. Okay, that's a center. Let me crease this so that you can see what is happening. Okay, if you want to make it to the left or to the bottom or to the top, that's how you function with this. Okay, let me make it a little smaller. Okay, if you come down over here, let's say you want all of these cells to be, whatever the contents are, should be underlined. Okay, now if I come over here and type something, okay, anything I type here, because I have applied some formatting. Okay, What you can also do is just say I want to copy these contents and I want to take it to a new sheet. Come over here, for example, and you press enter or you press paste, and there you go, you have it. Again, you want to get rid of these ants. Escape key, press the escape key once and it goes away. Okay, now the best way to learn this is by creating a small table, and we'll create a simple one. Let me remove all of this, we don't need this. I'm going to highlight and I'm going to say clear all. Okay, and bring this back to the way it was, and I'm going to enter some basic data about students. I'm going to say I have some students and I have some grades, student name, and then I have physics, grades. I'm going to press the tab key to go to the next cell, math, grades, and English grades. Okay, and I'm going to say enter some names of the students. I'm going to say, okay, for example, student 1, 2, student 4, and student 5. Okay, you want to edit the content of a cell, you go there, you can do it from here, click here, let's say, and this basically is called the formula bar. Okay, and we'll learn about the formula bar because when you're doing formulas, anything you want to edit, or you want to edit the formula bar, you come over here and click on this one, and then you can change the formula. We will get to that later. Okay, let me enter some grades, some fictitious grades. Let's say 30. I'm going to press enter. As you press enter, it will take you one step down to the next cell. I'm going to press a tab and enter the grades 80, 100, 80, 60, and 70. Oops, it's not working. Let me do that again. 100, 70, and then I have 55, 65, 65, 58, and there you go. So this is basically a basic form of a table. Okay, now see what you can do with this is, let me see, I cannot see student name, so what I can do is I can just come over here, double click this so that it will resize and show the complete contents. Have a look at physics grade and math grade and English grade. If you have the sample of the exercise, which you can download in the link given below, you will see that these are wrapped. So how do you wrap some text? Click on this one and you can go into alignment. Within alignment, you have wrap text. Click OK. There you go, that is wrapped. You can do it in another way by clicking on the wrap text option. Click on this one and it will wrap the text, and you can do the same thing for this one. Now I can center this across the cell. There you go. And on this one I will push it up. There you go. Okay, so right now I've just created a small table with my students and their grades. Let's continue, and I'm going to create another cell or another row above this one. And how do you insert a new row? Click on insert sheet rows, click on this one, and I would call this subjects. And I want this to be centered across these three columns. Okay, so first thing I have to do is highlight it, till the end of the columns, and then go into alignment. And the first step would be to merge all of these cells. Okay, once they're merged, okay, now I can center them, center horizontally and vertically. There you go. Okay, now under this category I have all my subjects, and let me continue. And I'm going to say I'm going to do some small or basic formulas. I'm going to say I want the totals, I want the minimum grade a student has received, and the maximum, which I'm going to call Y, and average, I'm going to call that Z. Okay, once that is done, again, I would like this to be in the center of E, F, G, and H. So I'm going to highlight this, and instead of going here, okay, there's another way which you can use, and that is by doing a merge and center. Click on merge and center, and it will merge it, and it will also center it. Okay, but this is showing at the bottom. I'm going to do center vertically and horizontally. Okay, so once you have this, now I would like to have some formulas over here. Okay, what I want over here is I want to total all of these and put it over here. Now whenever you're doing a formula, wherever you want to see the result, go and click on the cell where you want to see the result. I want to see the result over here, so I'm going to go and click over here. Next, what I'm going to do is I have the formula tab, and there are a number of ways of entering a formula. The first one is by going into the insert function. Click on insert function, and either most recently used, if your function is showing over here, you can use this, or you can say all, and you can go down to S. The function that I'm looking for is called sum, S-U-M, sum. I'm going to say OK. And if you know the range of your cells, you can just type it over here. This is showing you that add up from B3 to D3, which is, I think, correct. But if you're not sure, just move this to the side. Just come over here and highlight your range, and it will display your range over here. Click OK, and there you go. You have your total showing over here. If you have a look at the formula bar, see how over here it's showing you the number. If you click over here, it is showing you the formula that you have used. Press enter to get back. Okay, let's do this in another way. So we need to do the totals of the second student and put it over here. So the first thing is you go and click where you want to see the result, and instead of going to insert function, I can go and use the auto sum function. Click sum, and that looks fine. I'll press enter. Okay, and let's do it for this one as well. And instead of using auto sum, I'm going to say recently used. Click on this one. I've used sum. Click on this one and highlight your range. Press enter or OK. There you go. Let's do this one. Insert function, most recently used. Click OK. Highlight your range and OK. And of course, same for this one. Great. Okay, now we're going to do the same for minimum. Okay, I'll do auto sum, and I'm going to say I want to see the minimum grade the student has received. Click this one. Now it has highlighted total as well, but I just need the grades, just these three, and press enter, and there you go. Same goes for maximum. Maximum of these three, enter, and finally the average of these three, press enter. Now instead of doing all of these cells and inserting the formulas again, what you can do is just come over here and you can copy the formula across like so. Okay, now notice that over here it was B3 and D3. If you come down over here, it has increased one row. Same goes for this one. So as you copy it, it understands that you want to add the sum for the next row. Okay, and you can do the same thing for this one. Remember, when you come and copy it, okay, this means copy. You come right at the end of the cell, it becomes a black plus sign. Press it and you drag it down. Okay, if it's a white, if it is like this and you move it, it will move it from one place to the other. Okay, so in case you do that, that's wrong, just say undo, and this, just copy it. Come right at the corner, becomes a black plus sign, press it and you drag it down. There you go. In case you want to get rid of these decimals, click on that, go to the Home tab and remove the decimals. Okay, click on this one. Okay, you can do it all in one shot. Let's say you want to show some decimals. There you go. Okay, oops. There you go. Okay. Okay, next what you want to do is, once we have done this, we want to have a main heading above this. So I'm going to click over here. Again, I'm going to insert a row, and I'm going to call this midterm details or exam details. Okay, I would like this to be in the center of all of these cells or all of these columns. I'm going to highlight this and go into merge and center, or you can go inside and do it. And I'm going to center this vertically and horizontally. There you go. Okay, that is looking good. Okay, now let me come down over here and I'm going to do some more formulas. Total, minimum, maximum, and average. I will do one and just copy them across. Okay, click on the cell where you want to see the result and go into the formula tab. You can go to insert function and sum, highlight your range, click OK, and there you go, and then just copy it across. Okay, so basically this would be the total of physics, and this would be the total of the math, and this is the English, and this is of course of the totals and minimum, maximum, and average. Come over here and say I want to have the minimum of all of these grades. Okay, that's the wrong range. I'm just going to highlight this, going to press enter, and the maximum of this and the average of this, enter, and I can just copy it across. It has to be a black plus sign, drag it, same goes for this one, and same goes for the last one, which is the average. You want to get rid of the decimal. Again, you can highlight, go to the Home tab, and just keep on pressing till you get the desired result. Okay, next what you want to do is we want to have some borders. If I print this, let me go into file and I'll say print. You would notice that it does not have any borders. So how do you have some borders for your table? Just highlight your table. Okay, within the alignment tab you have border. Okay, select a style of a line that you like. Currently this one is selected, which is fine. I'm going to say use this line for the outline and for the inside. Click OK, and there you go. Let me go and say file and print. Let's see how that looks. That looks just fine. Let me go back, and if you want something fancy for your borders, let's say I want to go to alignment again, go to borders, select a different line. Let's say I want to have this one for the outline, and I would like to have this dotted line for the inside. Okay, I'll say okay, and it will apply those settings for you. Okay, next what you want to do is you want to have some shading inside. So again, go into midterm details, go into alignment, and I would like to fill this with a pattern. Okay, and I need to make this bold, and these I'll make it italic. Okay, and this one. Okay, so over here I want to give something called midterm exam results. And this I would like to show it across the whole table. So I'm going to go into alignment. Within alignment I have merge, and I would like to have the orientation to be like this. So the words will become, the alphabets will become on top of each other. I'll say okay, and that's the way it appears. Okay, now the reason you cannot see the whole thing is because the height of these columns are not large enough. Okay, let me do the same thing before student name, or before the A column. How do you insert a new column? So I'm going to say insert a column. Over here I'm going to do the same thing. I can either copy it and paste it here, or I can do it from scratch. I'm going to say midterm results, enter, and again highlight all the way till here, go into alignment. Within alignment you have merge cells and choose an orientation. Okay, and of course you can do a center and center. Click OK, there you go. This one same thing, center, center, and I think both are bold. I'll make these bold. Okay, now since I do not have a border, I'm going to highlight the whole thing again, go into alignment, go into borders. I'm going to say outline, and inside. Okay, so now these are also included in my table. Okay, so I have some borders also. Okay, now next what I want to do is I would like to show these, so I have to increase the height of the rows. Okay, so let me make all of these rows to 50 pixels. Now the way you change the height of the rows is you have to click on the number. Okay, and then you can drag it, come between the numbers and press it, and you have two numbers, 15, and the one in the bracket shows the number of pixels. Since I'm going according to the number of pixels, I need to make it to 50 pixels. I'm going to highlight and all the way till 50. Okay, let go, and that's the way it appears. So all of the heights of all of these rows is 50 pixels. Okay, remember, whenever you want to change the height, let me go to sheet 2. Whenever you want to change the height, you have to come between the numbers. Okay, you cannot do it by highlighting this and try to change it. Okay, just come between the numbers, press it, and you drag it down or up. Okay, same goes for the columns. You want to change the size or the width, come between the alphabets and change it accordingly. Okay, let's go back. Okay, next what you want to do is let's center all of these vertically and horizontally so it appears a little better. Push this up and make it bold. There you go. Okay, that's taking shape. Next what you want to do is we want to rename our sheet. Okay, to rename a sheet, all you need to do is double click on sheet 1, for example, and I will call this exam results. Press enter, and there you have it. Okay, next what you're going to do is we have to, okay, let me just fix this, student 1. There you go, and it is italic. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to make a chart. Okay, remember, before you make a chart you need to select the range that will be represented on the chart. Okay, so to make a simple chart, let's say I want to make a chart with my students and their physics grade. Highlight the range, go into insert, and within insert you have the charts option, and you can select any chart that you like. I'm going to just select this one, for example, a column chart. There you go. Okay, anytime you want to delete a chart, click on the chart and you press delete and it goes away. Okay, let's say I want to do it for all of my students and all of the grades that they have received. Go to insert, within insert you have column chart, and there you go. Remember, whenever you click on a chart you get two extra menus, which is chart design and format. Okay, and within this, within a chart you have different elements. If you just take your mouse, let me close this. If you take your mouse and hover, it will show you the different elements within a chart. That's your chart title. If you come here, that's your plot area. Those are your grid lines, and you have which are in the background. This over here is your vertical axis. That's your horizontal axis. This is your legend. Just by looking at the legend you will be able to read the chart. For example, physics is the blue bar, and what else? That's it. Now if you do not want to have an element, or you want to add an element, you can go into the chart design. Within chart design you have add chart element. Okay, whatever you can do from here you can also do it from this plus sign. Okay, let's say for example you want to have, see right now the primary horizontal axis is on. If you want to turn it off, you can just turn it off, it goes away. Same goes for primary vertical. There you go, that's the way it appears. I need it, so I'm going to turn them on one by one. Same goes for the axis title. If you want to see some axis title, turn them on. There you go, and I'll call this marks, for example. Okay, click on this one, and this I will call students. Okay, so I have some axis title. Let me go back over here, and chart title. Always have a chart title. If you do not want to have a chart title for some reason, you can just say none, but I do want to have it, so I'll say above the chart. Exam chart. There you go. Let me go back to elements, and then you have data labels, other values. If you want to show the values, you can just say turn these on, and where do you want to show it? In the center, outside, inside, call out. That depends on what you want to do. I'll just say outside end. There you go. Data table. If you want to see, if you want to show the table along with the keys, you can click on this one. Now this will show your table and your chart together. I do not want it, so I'm just going to turn this off. And next are your grid lines. You can turn all of them on if you want, the major ones and the minor ones, and it makes much easier for you to read your chart. The table is still on. Let me go to data table. I do not want it, so I'm going to say none, and there you go. Next, what I want to do is I want to move the chart to a new sheet, because it'll give me one big separate sheet that will show my chart. I'm going to say move the chart, and I'll say new sheet, and I'll call it all grades maybe. I'll say okay, and now I have a separate sheet and it is showing the chart nice and big. Anytime you want to change something, of course you can go ahead and change that. Now if you make the mistake of selecting the wrong chart and you want to change the type of the chart, all you need to do is click on the chart, go into change type, which is within change design. Let's say I want to change the type. Okay, and instead of this one I would like to have this one, for example. Okay, similarly, if you have selected the wrong range for your chart and you want to reselect it, all you need to do is just say select data, and let's say I just want to do it for physics grade, and I'll say okay, and instead of this one I'll call it physics. Press enter, and there you have it. Okay, next what you need to do is, let's go back, and let's say I want to create a chart that shows physics and English grades. Okay, so you have physics grade here and English grade here. Okay, remember, whenever you're selecting a chart, make sure you select the labels. These are your labels. Okay, if you just select your data, I'll show you how it looks. Let's say I just select my data and I say insert chart. Now instead of the name of the students, it is showing me 1, 2, 3. Why? Because I did not select my student names. Okay, and have a look at series 1, 2, and 3. It is showing you this because you did not select these labels over here. Okay, so I can fix this by clicking on the chart, and I can say go to chart design, select the data again, and I'm going to say that's my data. Okay, so now it's showing me the name of the students, and it is also showing me the legend properly. Okay, let me delete this, and I would like to make a chart with my students, their physics grade and English grade. So I'm going to highlight this. Now to highlight the English grade, press the control key and you hold it down. Okay, and then you go and say insert, and within the chart I'm looking for is a line chart. And I'm going to select this one. Okay, and the first thing I need to do is I'll move it to a new sheet, and I'll call this, I can call it anything, like just call it line chart, or I can call it physics and English. Click OK. I would like to say do you show some data, so I'm going to say chart element, add some data. Where's my data? Data labels. I'm going to say show it on right above. Okay, I need to have a chart title. I'll call this physics and English. There you go. Now the size or the font is not the one that you're looking for. You can just click on this one and then say make it bold or make it bigger, because this is really tiny. I'm going to click on this one. All the numbers in the series are selected, and 9 is too small. I'll make it 10.5, or maybe 11 is better. Same goes for the next series. I'll make it 11. There you go. I do not have any axis title, so if you do want to show them, you can go ahead and click on chart, add element. You can also do it from here, axis, have some axis titles, both of them. This one is called marks, marks, and this is students. There you go. Okay, if you want to move the legend up or to the right, what you can do is, again, go to chart element, or you can do it from here. Legend, you want to show it on the top. There you go. Oops, top. Size is too small. I'm just going to make it a little bigger. Okay, 11, that's good. 16 is just fine. Okay, same goes for students. The size is too small. There you go. Okay, now if you need to change these labels, okay, you can go back to your table, and let's say instead of student, I need to make it, for example, okay, let's fix this one. So any changes you make up here will be reflected in your graph automatically. Okay, let's go back. There you go, it has changed it automatically. This one also would reflect the changes that you have made. Okay, so let me go back. Let me come here, and let's say what more can we do. Okay, next is let's make a column chart, and we'll make it black and white. And this time we're going to just select students, physics grade and math grade, and we're going to say insert. Within insert, we're going to say column chart, and I'm going to move this to a new sheet. Okay, again, select a new sheet, give it proper name. Okay, now the only thing that I need to show you over here is how to make it black and white. Since most of our printers are black and white, what we need to do is we need to make these columns black and white. So the first thing you do is click on this one. Okay, and the entire series is selected. Right click, go into the format data series, and click on this bucket over here and fill it with a pattern. Of course, make it black and white, and select any pattern, which is this one, and we'll select the second one, pattern fill, and we'll select a different pattern for this one. There you go. If you like to have some borders, you can say a solid line. Same goes for this one, we'll say a solid line. That's it from this one. Okay, so of course we can change the title and give it a proper title. Okay, let's see what else we can do with this. Let's go back to our table, this one, exam data, exam results. So okay, so we have basically done everything. We created a small table, and we applied the formatting to it, and we created some charts. Okay, so this takes care of this class, and in the next one we'll do something more advanced. Okay, thanks for watching, and hope this was beneficial.